This is the URT. We are the URT. Big up the URT. Give it up for the URT, people. Big up, love and light, people. Smash the like on the video. Subscribe to the channel if you're not already subscribed, kids. Let's be having you. Let's be having you. Big up to everybody and their nan, mate. Big up to everybody and their nan. Big up to everybody and their fam. Yeah, United and Manchester United. We're going to be talking about lots of things to come up on the show, man. We're going to be talking about everything that is Manchester United latest news. We're going to be talking about players that United are linked with. We're going to be talking about Wilcox. Apparently, Wilcox's decision was the main decision that's kept Bruno at the football club. We're also going to talk about what I'm going to explain. You're never going to hear this take, a unique take to Scholes saying he doesn't wish Rashford well anymore. He's not asked if he's doing well. But anyway. We big up the URT. This is the URT. Smash a like for the URT. Big up, people. We're going to be talking about everything that's Man United tonight on here. We're going to be talking about Jason Wilcox's decision to keep Bruno. What is Jason Wilcox doing? What is he on? We're going to be talking about it. We're also going to give you a unique take on the Scholes Rashford situation, so that people understand. Because some people do not understand, man. Do not understand what these podcasts are on these days. We are live right now, people. Direct from Manny. But yeah, welcome, people. We're also going to be talking about all the latest transfer. We've been linked transfer window. People are linking people with Manchester United. Yeah, we're going to talk about it, Mickley. Ramaphosa, we're going to like that. Like and subscribe, man. Apologies. Ended up sending the wrong redirect, bro. Late, bro. Love King. It's all good. All good. All good. All good. Yeah, big up. So at the end of the day, people, it is what it is. But Manchester United, for me, we're gonna see. We did a couple of videos. I don't know what you mans did, but we did a couple of videos the other day. And we're gonna talk about that. What's happening to the channel? I'm gonna update you what's going on. I've been onto YouTube, and they're just gaslighting me at this moment in time. We're gonna be talking about the transfers. We're gonna be, like I said, Scholes on Rashford. I'm gonna give you a different take than everybody else is giving you, because everybody else is just taking it literally. And I'm gonna break down what the algorithm analyst, football analyst looks like, what that agenda is. Scholes! Good lad, Scholes is here. He wants some attention, the little shit. Plus, all Man U FC transfers. I'm just writing a tweet to let people know we're live. Man U FC transfer news, because I think a lot of it is just a waffle, but we're gonna cover some. So yeah, big up to the people. Welcome, people. Welcome. Big up, Saeed. Love, man. All good. Scholes is here. Yeah, Scholes is about. Scholes, you want to come and say hello to me? Yeah, I'm here. There he is. He's here. He's here. Good lad. He's here. Good boy. Yeah, funny. Scholes never done interviews as a player, but it's good enough to say goodbye. But this is my Scholes, isn't it? You know what my Scholes is. This is my Scholes. This is my Scholes here. This is the rascal. We're mixing it up too. I named him after Paul Scholes because that's how much I love Paul Scholes. But we'll talk about it. We'll talk about Paul Scholes. But this is my Scholesy. Scholesy the cat. People are saying that. I'm talking about that. But love people. Ariane Senna, the GOAT F1, donated 40 million of his worth travel costs and surgery in Brazil privately, while modern sportsmen worry too much about their drip on socials. Wow, that's unbelievable, Dan. There you go. Appreciate you. Thanks for letting us know. Thanks for letting us know. Yeah, big up to you. Big up to you. Yeah, people. Big up the URT. So yeah, I want to talk about Jason Wilcox. So I was sent the clip, and I'm trying to find the clip, but apparently it's on the. If you go and watch the last episode, or the one episode before that, or the last episode of the Athletic, the Athletic United fans. It's Andy Mitten, it's Laurie Whitwell, it's Carl Yanka, and I don't know who the other guy is. There's another guy on there, the presenter on there. But all of them three are basically talking about, all four of them are in the studio talking about, somebody sent me the clip, but I can't find the clip. I don't know what happened to the clip. So basically, one of the clips was talking about why Bruno Fernandes stayed, right? The reason why Bruno Fernandes stayed and at the football club. And one of them, I think it might have been Laurie Whitwell or Andy Mitten, who basically said, yeah, Jason Wilcox is one of the big reasons why Bruno was kept at the football club. And then I'm like, what is going on? Why would he do that? Why is the director of football playing against us? He knows to fix that midfield. We could have got 100 million for a 30-year-old and could have reinvested that money in the midfield. And now it makes sense what Bruno has said. I'm thinking, where did Bruno get this from? And it makes sense. It was a director of football who told Bruno, Jason Wilcox. Remember, Bruno said the club have said to me that they don't need the money for me to play. Like, they don't need it. I can stay at the football club because the club, the club don't need the money. Big up, Lesso. Hope you good, King. How you doing?
No, big up, Nuruddin. I'm all good.
Bro, somebody was watching the Athletic podcast. They do a United. It's called the Devils podcast. It's the Athletic guys. It's Laurie Whitwell, Andy Mitten, Carl Yanka, and I forgot who the other guy is. But so one of the reasons why, apparently, one of the big reasons why that Bruno Fernandes is at the football club is because of the fact that Jason Wilcox said it's one of the reasons. When a director of football says, "Nah, you're not going anywhere, mate," and then that's why Bruno came out and said the club said they don't need the money, they don't need to sell me. So it makes sense. It's not Amarim wanted him to stay, yes, but the decision to bring players or to take players out, it's not been all up to Amarim. A lot of the players that United want to get rid of, and this is the biggest misnomer, yeah, at the moment in time, it's a big misnomer that United fans think it was all Amarim who bombed those players out. No, it's not Amarim. Ineos wanted to get rid of those wages as well. Ineos wanted to get players out. And the reason why I know that is because Jason Wilcox gave an interview to Manchester United Players Association. I don't know if you saw the quote from Jason Wilcox, Lesso, where he basically said, actually, the most important thing is not just about bringing players in, it's also getting players out. And then the last comment is that I hope we get the opportunity to be able to change things. So for me, I'm just like, the director of football of Manchester United has kept, it's called Talk of the Devils, big up. Somebody showed me that clip. I think they didn't send it, but they showed me to them on their phone. They were like, look at this, or have you seen this? And it's them basically, one of them saying, I think it might have been Laurie Whitwell saying, Jason Wilcox is one of the reasons why Bruno Fernandes stayed at his football club. And now it makes sense because Bruno came out. He didn't say because of the coach wants me to stay. He said the football club. Who's representing the football club as a director of football? Jason Wilcox. So what is Jason Wilcox doing? I'm really shocked. I'm getting conspiratorial, Lesto. It's Omar Barada and Jason Wilcox coming to destroy Manchester United. One of them used to play for back then, hating Manchester United, big rivals. The other one, both of them work for Man City, biggest, nearest rivals of Manchester United. I mean, what do you think is going on, bro? Am I reaching?
Yeah, no. You remember in my last rant, I actually said at some point, I mean, these two, they come from a rival club. They have no associations anywhere close to Manchester United. So they're not affiliated in any way to us and before they even came here. So for me, I look at a lot of things. I think it's been sabotage at Manchester United. All these guys who come in, like I said, they come here to make a quick buck and to add something to their resume. That's it. And you can see that some of them are shocked that they even considered for such positions. They wouldn't be in these occupying these positions at any other top club. They wouldn't be. It's only us where we convert people from previous posts, and then they come here and we essentially give them an upgrade. We promote all of them when they come to the Manchester United. So that's what's been wrong with the football club anyways, never mind anything. So
they didn't go and get made CEO with experience of running a football club, experienced guy to go and run the football. They didn't go and get an established, well-known, recognized director of football. They just went in with this thinking that Man City guys, like, it was late to find out that Omar Barada actually was the finance guy. He wasn't a football guy. So why the fuck is he making football decisions?
Yeah, that's the problem. I think it was rushed. It was rushed decisions. They just wanted to put people in because they had this whole mandate that by 2028 who will be winning a league title. So they wanted to give this idea to supporters by filling in these positions supposedly that we've been crying about, and have people there to essentially calm down everyone, and that's why I wasn't really impressed with the appointments, because I was like, okay, where has he been CEO of before, and where's Wilcox been a technical director of at any top club? He hasn't been. So those things were always going to be they're always going to make you worry at the back of your head. I mean, if it didn't make you worry, I don't know what you were thinking. But yeah, I mean, with the coats, um, I think these guys are gonna be sacked. They know Sajim. Sajim does sack. He does have that tendency of sacking anyone. Anyone can get it. He's shown it to you, like from all the way from the tea lady to people who have nothing to do with how poorly we're performing on the pitch, have already gotten it. Now, those who are now on the pitch now and where his money is directly invested in are not performing, they're also gonna go. So for me, I think it's one less chance for Wilcox, and as well as Barada. If he gets the next manager appointment wrong, I think it's curtains for him. I think he's sacked because he literally has cost us and taken us backwards. If you think about it, and those things have rectification. They have rectification, so someone has to pay for all of those things. So in a sense, I think it's they know this. Like it's not even. I think Sir Jim has told it to them, and they know his history as well. Ever since he is getting involved in football, that he's a second machine. Like he has no patience. This thing of patience, I don't think he has it. His clock is ticking. People forget that. He's not at that very, very young, ripe age anymore. Right now he's getting on with age and he wants to see results. And unfortunately, that's going to trigger a lot of sackings that we're going to see going forward. So yeah, that's what it is. It's all about the money game, and it's all about legacy at the moment for him as much as anything else. But yeah, well, with Wilcox, I'm sorry, like I think he needs to go. With the Bruno thing, it's diabolical. That's the one of the worst decisions you can possibly make. You've set us back literally 3 years now. And we could have easily gotten someone who would still need to adapt. and would still need the next coming seasons to grow. Now, we're going to expect that person to kick the ground running. The next person who comes in has to kick the ground running to replace Bruno. And we also there's a lot that we also need to change from formation, from getting the team right, from getting the balance right, from making sure that we pick the right partnerships. It's a lot. So I don't see anyone who's going to walk in here and doing all of those things magically. There's no one who's going to ever do that. So I can see this stretching all the way to 2035. As much as people don't like to hear it, 2035, I think that's when we're going to kick on. If we're lucky, that's it. So going forward, Manchester United cannot be making mistakes because we don't, we specifically, I think when it comes to signings, we don't sign a whole lot of players at the same time. We're not going to do what Chelsea's doing, to try and, throw everything at the kitchen sink and hope maybe 3 or 4 or 5 of those players come right. We're literally hoping that every signing that we make is essentially right. And that's not going to happen. That's just not going to click. That you need a miracle for your signings to all click, to all work out. So that's why I'm saying that it's a long road and a very hurtful one for the supporters going forward. And yeah, the next appointments for me will tell me where we go in terms of under Wilcox. I mean, if Wilcox goes and Barada goes, that will tell me where Manchester United are going, with or without Ineos, basically.
Yeah. Big up to everybody. Big up to Essa. Big up, the same brother Wilcox of fraud. Listen, I've just put a community question. I'm specifically talking about Wilcox. I'm asking, do you trust Wilcox? And do you think he's qualified to be the director of football at Manchester United? Because his only chance was one season being a director of football at Southampton, if I'm not mistaken. And Southampton to Manchester United is completely two different levels.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I'm going to ask. Big up Carla Derbyshire. Carla, I don't want Todd Bowley either, because Todd Bowley, he basically does the Epstein job. He's got them all compromised, all the Premier League footballers, a lot of football clubs in Europe, because the way he sells players and then the way how cheap he gets certain players is unbelievable. It's absolutely unbelievable. And actually, Chelsea, if you look at it, they haven't got a goalkeeper. They haven't got a dominant centre-half. And to be fair, except after this season, they don't still have a big-time goal scorer, striker.
Mm-hmm.
So they're struggling as well. I'm not going to lie. They've got talented young players, but they miss key positions. And the guy spent $1 billion and a bit. And they still haven't got a decent goalkeeper. That is worrying. Facts need to, and he's all about try to rip off or try to get around PSR. He's just buying a lot of young players and selling a lot of young players, which is some mad game that is being played. They were offered Donnarumma. Donnarumma might have done decent at Chelsea. Italian coach, Italian manager, Italian player. But no, it didn't work out. So people get involved in that. Yeah, I just find it really funny. I'm like, the fact that a 30-year-old, you're a director of football, you know Bruno doesn't really fit in the system. You saw it from last season. And here you are still trying to persevere with it. And then you've also said, okay, we're going to get 2 number 10s. So that means Bruno's not going to play in the number 10. Bruno's going to play in midfield. So you've agreed with that with the coach. And people, Lesso, don't understand and know that coaches and director of football are like this. Coaches have to explain the decisions to a director of football. People don't know that. People, I swear to God, Lesso, people still think football coaches don't have to explain nothing to nobody. That's the reason why football teams hire director of football. Every Monday, win, lose, well, especially when you win, when you lose or draw, the game plan is explained to the director of football. This is what my thing is. He's not there. He's not there during the week. Jason Wilcox is based in a training ground anyway. But it is directors of football have meetings with coaches, and they ask. You know how we found this out? Patrick Vieira at Reading, was it Reading or Crystal Palace? I think it might have been Crystal Palace. He had to sit there and explain the decisions, why he did this, why he did certain things that he did to the director of football. Because directors of football accept that, because it's their head, it's their neck on the chopping board as well. Chopping block as well. It's their neck.
Yeah, no, definitely. And that's where the accountability issue comes in, and is there any sort of accountability? But I think, in the sense that is why some of them don't want to be tied or remove the blame from themselves in terms of the manager being here to begin with, because at the end of the day, someone's going to answer for this. When they say with Amarim, guys, who brought this guy here again? Someone has to be held accountable. And unfortunately, with Wilcox, he's somewhat, removed himself away from that accountability and pressed it all on Barada. So Barada is the one who's gonna face the full, the whole music, legit with regards to Amorim. And now, but decisions such as keeping the likes of Bruno, setting the team 3 years back, neglecting the midfield and going for just attackers. These sort of things, I think more or less it's gonna be Wilcox who's gonna have to answer for that, because they're gonna ask him, why couldn't you get rid of that guy? Because hey, they were willing to offer him 100 million plus. So let me make this clear. They're not going to let him get away with that, because that was a whole lot of money we could have got. As much as I don't like Ineos or anything like that, but when it comes to money, you do not mess with any owner's money. When they put money in and they see you not doing things effectively, you're going to be blamed. You're going to be held accountable. They're going to get rid of you. So in this sense, him and Berada are actually on thin ice. That's why they don't want to. If you look at it, that is why they're not quick to get rid of this manager, because they know that the next manager has to be right. The next appointment has to be right. And at this point, this is why I say that this is they're way above they're way above their heads with this one. These jobs is too big for them. For both of them, they shouldn't be occupying these jobs at this club. When you're looking for someone at a club of this level to appoint for such position, you look for people who have been there and done it. You look for experience. It could be a mix of experience and someone who's learning, but there has to be a vast amount of experience for people who have done this before at this level. These two have never done that. You look at their previous, like I said, you look at their previous vacancies and occupations. They were nowhere near this level. So, it's a mismatch. It was always going to be a problematic at the end of the day. I mean, um, obviously, Sir Jim's gonna have to sit down and they're gonna have to assess this as the board. That in terms of the have they hired correctly? We still don't have a sporting director. I mean, Wilcox is basically a sporting and the technical director at the moment, and you've got a CEO who's a guy who's business minded and focus on numbers. Yet again, this is reminiscing of John Murdoch. So, it's someone who's good with the numbers, but is not good with making footballing decisions. Now, we could have went for someone like Van der Sar. We could have went for people who have actually occupied the CEO positions and who have made both business and footballing decisions concisely. So, um, sorry about that.
It's all good, bro.
I think
It's
someone
all
was
good,
trying
bro.
to call me. Yeah, but um, in the sense, that's they're gonna have to sit down. I think there's gonna have to be a meeting about this. And with the one more appointment, the appointments, the next appointments that they make, there's gonna be answers. Someone has to answer. Someone's gonna have to answer. Both of them have to account. And that is why they are dragging this essentially.
Yeah.
Big up.
Yeah, it's crazy in every way you think about it, because I did a video yesterday. People, by the way, the channel is shadow banned, and now we can clearly see it. The videos I put 2 videos out. One was on Ahmad, the abuse that Ahmad was getting. I was like, you know what? Only criticize Ahmad on the football pitch. Don't criticize him outside of the football pitch. And the other one was
I think you're on mute. Or is it me?
Can you hear me? Can
Yeah.
you hear me now? Yeah.
Yeah.
So the point that I was making was that what I was saying was that the recent the were shadow banned because both videos are being the lowest viewed videos on this channel, and the shadow banning is gotten even more extreme because to protect the state of Israel is for everybody to see. You know what I mean? Everybody can see what they're doing. They're clamping down hard. The Israeli government is asking their Zionist friends in YouTube and Google to clamp down on dissent and anybody who's calling for the Palestinian rights or talking about the genocide. So please, all you can do is smash the like, subscribe to the channel. We're not asking for too much, but we'll never be silenced when there's a genocide going on. So let me just have a look at the views. It says here, do you trust Jason Wilcox? And do you think he's qualified to be the DOF at Man UFC? And 72% have said no, 28% have said yes. So people, please keep smashing the like, subscribing to the channel, and also please, check out the other two videos and let me know if you agreed or disagreed. Big up to you, Essa. I appreciate you. So Wilcox and Barada are like the team. Yeah, 100%. They're like two people that they've got because they've looked at Man City and said those two are successful. If they went and bought the director of football from Man City, it'll be a totally different story. He's just left, Berestan, if I'm not mistaken. He's just left now. He's left to go, I don't know where he's going, but he's just left. Or if Manchester United signed Mochi, who's just left Aston Villa, somebody like him. But no, we got Jason Wilcox. And I don't trust Jason Wilcox because you could have got, like he said, like Esso said, could have got 100 million for 30-year-old Bruno. That is a lot of money for a player of that age, regardless what you think. Remember, football clubs with good structures back themselves. Remember Liverpool, they had Who was it? The guy, the Brazilian, they sold to Barcelona. What was his name? Coutinho. Yeah. They sold him for 100-something million. And they went and spent the money on a centre half and a goalkeeper. And look, they never looked back ever since. Yeah, they never looked back ever since. And he was their best player. He was the best player in that team on the Klopp when Klopp first came in. But they were like, listen, we're going to have to get rid of him. And they improved as a team. They got better as a team. So this idea that we think we can't live without Bruno and Bruno's the only guy, I don't buy it. I don't buy it. Wow. Really appreciate this, bro. That's crazy.
Wow.
I don't know what that is. Is that in dollars?
It looks like dollars.
500 quid. Is that what it is? Free Palestine from Kuwait. Forza Milan. Wow. I think I might know this, brother. But I appreciate you, bro. Thank you so much. That's crazy. That's probably the biggest super chat we ever had. Please remind me your name. Remind me of your name, brother. Remind me of your name. It's not stage one. I know that for a fact. But remind me of your name. I think we know each other. Big up to you and love. Yeah, people, smash the like, subscribe to the channel. Free Palestine, bro. This is it. I'm not gonna lie to you. They're shadow banning me because of Palestine. I'm not gonna lie to you, bro. Forza Milan, yeah, Milan. They're our team. I remember if you're the right person. I remember we used to chat. We used to chat in a frozen yogurt next to the Ritz in Manchester when you were a student here. I hope you and the family are well. Really appreciate the generous donations to the channel. And big up and love to you. Kenji saying, Nuruddin, what happened to getting the best upcoming talent and buying them cheap? Ineos said that, well, they're not doing it. I mean, Jim was asked the question when he was first coming into Manchester United. He was like, we don't buy Mbappe, you buy the next Mbappe, the upcoming Mbappe. So I don't know. I genuinely don't know.
No, man. I mean,
Leon, I'm not gonna lie to you, they signed Diego Leon, but I think that's all to do with Vavel. The only person who's actually got a little bit of pedigree, but he got sacked at Chelsea as well. and Chelsea didn't trust him, was Vavel. Out of all of the football structure, it's Vavel. Vavel is actually the guy who's actually found certain players or signed decent players in different places. He signed from Salzburg to RP Leipzig. He signed Sesko, didn't he? And he was involved in some of the deals at Chelsea. But yeah, it's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. However way you want to think about it, it is crazy.
No, but if you think about it, man, if you think about it, I think the reason why we kept Bruno, there was no plan. There's no way you have a plan and you're holding on to Bruno. You know, I think we did not have a plan a set way. In fact, we that's why I said we'll tell if these guys actually want to continue with what they are doing or they see something else that is an alternative, but more or less they still haven't found it out yet. So for me, it's either they did not trust the way this manager is playing or they didn't want to go into that direction or they just wanted to change things, but yet they didn't know what the direction was. Because two things, something has to give, you know, in terms of why would you keep Bruno? You know, firstly, why wouldn't you go after wingbacks in the transfer market? Why didn't you address the midfield? Why didn't you, you know, certain things are ringing alarms as to opposed to that. That is why I said the idea, I think, is to go back to a back four and then inshallah, they'll see what happens from there onwards. Because if they really wanted to go back to go and play with wing backs or play with the three at the back, they would have went and essentially tried and get wing backs and as well as gotten the midfield sorted. Because if you think about it, most of the players we lack is in those side of the pitch. We don't have midfielders who can play the system. We don't have wing backs who can essentially who are natural wing backs. Anyways, never mind that. And you know, that's your base. That forms your base, you know, going forward. So these guys didn't even look at that. So for me, essentially tells me that it's either they want Amarim gone or they've given up, basically, essentially, on Amarim. And in a sense, they're going back to a back four, you know, and or maybe try and get play a 4-3-3 because, like I said, doesn't make sense, you know, for me going forward, you know. So yeah, it is what it is. I think they knew that it was curtains. It's just a matter of they didn't want to sack him earlier
Yeah,
on because they are one manager away from being sacked themselves. Never mind that. So
yeah.
yeah.
Big up Mubarak. Big up Mubarak. Appreciate you. Love. Big up to Kuwait as well. Out of all the Arab nations, Kuwait is the only country that said, nah, no normalization with Kuwait and Yemen, I think, who said no normalization with a Zionist entity. So big up to them. Love. I've subscribed. I like the video. Everyone should. What else can we do? The chat. Do it in order to Lesso to give us a few lines of the chorus. Give me hope. Joy, Anna, Eddie Grant. Big up Andy. Big up Andy. He wants you to sing, man. I didn't know you were a singer, bro. Man like Andy's to tell you know, give me hope. Joanna. You know that track, Lesso?
Yeah, I know it.
Do you know Andy? Do you know Andy? You know Andy. Big up Andy. Love. I don't know about Sesko, man. I never rated him, but he's here. So go back in for now. Yeah. Well, Kenji, the biggest thing is that I actually 2 years ago I was rating him a lot. I thought he was an amazing player, but I just feel like his career didn't kick on. But actually, here he's made some decent runs in the box and stuff like that. But we don't play to find a striker. We don't. When we go into the last third, is where we panic. No, everybody shakes. Everybody doesn't know what they're doing. There's no stability. It's crazy what happens to our players. It's like kryptonite. It's like Superman to kryptonite. As soon as we get into the opposition's half against a decent team, not relegated teams or teams that have just come up in the Premier League, we start to panic. Jim is not a football man, bro. Man United, EPL, had to play. This is Man United need world-class player in the club to go into the next Champions League. Yeah, well, it is what it is. Big up Danny B. Big up the panel. Did you see the news? Man United PSR is 550 million in debt. No, Manchester United are £1 billion in debt. No, I didn't see that, Ibrahim. Please, can you get that, wherever you got that source from? I'd like to know about that. Get that source and big up the panel. Did you see the news? Man United PSR with 550 million debt. Please get that information for me, I beg you. The team better challenge for the league when they change formation, because apparently that's what's stopping us. No, it's not just that. It's not the formation. It's this interpretation of the system. I don't think the system, how he interprets it, 3-4-3, will ever work in England the way he interprets it, because it's asking players to do too much. It's asking players who can't do what it's asking them to do. And Ineos are not changing the players, so we're stuck. We are stuck, FC. Listen, I'm going to find this clip because we're going to move on to the next topic. We've been on one topic for about now nearly half an hour. We don't want to keep people too long. So I'm going to give an angle, Scholes on Rashford. I'm going to give an angle that you've not heard. Most people have been like, oh, that's a bit too harsh. Rash. I'm going to give, but I want to show you the clip first. So let me just show you the clip first. This is the clip that's been going around for the past day and a half, since yesterday. So please just listen to it and then let me know what you think. I don't know if you heard this.
I really struggle to feel happy for him, mainly because of his attitude. His attitude towards Man United, I thought it was disgraceful. The amount of times I saw him at Man United walking, like, because he wants to leave, I thought his whole demeanour about him was a disgrace. And I think he actually quit on Manchester United. And
right.
Once you quit once, you'll quit again.
He
was late last night.
Yeah. That was it. Yeah, last night.
He won't get away with that with Barcelona for long. There's absolutely no chance.
He needs to be aware, self-aware, and he's not a baby no more. He's 27, 28. He's not a kid. He needs to be self-aware about some of the stuff he does and how he projects himself. I thought he was going to come on his show today and go, what about Marcus? What about that goal? I told you this. And then he goes and doesn't turn up for it. He's late for the game.
How can you sleep in these days?
I don't know.
Your phone, fucking alarm, whatever. How can you sleep in?
Yeah.
Because he's got that talent that he could still be one of the best players in the world.
Oh, he's definitely got a talent.
Them 2 goals.
But he'll never have the mentality in it. I really struggle.
So this is where we're at, people. I just wanted you to see that. Most of you heard that. Big up to Mubarak for the big life donation. Appreciate him. Man United announced a record revenue despite poor form. Manchester United and a record financial revenue. 66 last year despite poor pick performance. But next season, that's not going to be the same. What they like to do, in the next couple of weeks, it'll come out. The actual figures, the details in those figures will come out. And we'll see. But they put the ticket prices up. So, of course, they're going to make profit. They turned the ticket that was discounted for elderly, for the disabled, and for young kids to £90 now, 90-something pounds. If you want to go to a Newcastle game, a Spurs game, a Chelsea game, a City game, a Liverpool game, or an Arsenal game. So 6 of the top big teams, 6 teams, traditional top 6 teams, that's how much you have to spend. So the Scholes thing, let me just bring this up again. I want people to understand, yeah. Look at what he's on. So this is a podcast, yeah. Gary Neville has been really successful with his podcast on the Overlap on Sky. Mika Richards, all ex-footballers have all got their podcast. So to get people to subscribe to the podcast, to get people to get on the podcast, what you're going to have to say some outrageous things about an outrageous thing to come out with, to say about former Manchester United player that's topical in the news. So that's what Scholes done. What Scholes has done there is rage baiting. It's called rage baiting because their podcast is with a guy called Paddy. He's a guy who was on television in the UK. He was in this funny comedy thing back in the day with a comedian. He's a comedian as well himself. It's him, Paddy, Nicky Bott and Scholes. And not many people have heard of that podcast. But in the last day and a half, everybody's heard of that podcast because everybody's found the clip and that clip's been shared. And they've even put it in that format. They put it in a format like TikTok for it to go viral. To basically, that is a hot take. And that's the reason why Scholes did it. I don't think Scholes believes. I don't think Scholes, as a youth player that came through Manchester United and understands that when he played, it was a totally different time. When the football club that Scholes came through and played for all those years is completely different football club to the football club that we have right now. To the football club that where Scholes played at, he had Ferguson, and they had Ferguson people doing so many jobs for the football club. Fergie was like the general manager, the guy in charge of the football club as a whole. So the football club that now is an absolute ragged hellhole where every player, no player is consistent, every player dies, every coach dies. So it's a rotten football club. So for him to say, oh, he gave up on Manchester United, do you think Rashford was the only player who gave up on Manchester United? Manchester United gave up on Manchester United. Forget the players. The owners, the boards, they gave up on Manchester United. Forget players. And I'm afraid, Scholesy, weren't you the same guy that we've done a show about in the Europa League final? Weren't you shaking hands with the people who've destroyed this football club? Weren't you shaking hands with Abraham Glazer behind the scenes? If you love United so much, the people who really gave up, the people who had the real power to give up on the real power where it mattered, that gave up on Manchester United, which the Glazers. But why were you shaking their hands and being all pally-pally with them? Backstage, you and Rio Ferdinand. Why were you doing that? Interesting, isn't it? So for me, all that was my hot take is on the hot take of Scholesy. Scholesy was doing rage baiting. Now everybody now knows and hears that Paul Scholes, Nicky Bott, and that Paddy guy have got a football podcast. There you go. Everybody knows. Everybody knows now. Everybody knows. Everybody knows that Paddy, Nicky Bott, and Scholes have a podcast. And I bet you to go and compare how many new subscribers they've got because of that rage bait that he did.
Yeah, people are gonna flock to that. People are genuinely gonna flock to that podcast. But yeah, it is what it is, man. With regards to him, that's not it for me. But I understand that now they're just going for the numbers. It's no longer about telling the truth or anything of that sort. It's all about saying what everyone wants to hear in some way, form, and shape. To get the numbers up. So, huge fan of Scholesy, one of my greatest United players of all time, but not the comment that I was looking for from him. And to be honest, these guys, it's all business to them now. The only one I can really point out to that has stayed away from this nonsense is Eric Cantona. So every one of these guys are somewhat in some form or shape in bed with the football club. So I don't really I've stopped taking a lot of what they say very I've taken it with a pinch of salt because let's be honest, how on earth are you expecting the same guys to be criticizing the football club that they're somewhat under the pockets of? So I don't really take anything they say seriously, honestly, Noradine. And I think fans should also divert away. You know what it is. So at this point, it no longer even pisses me off or whatever they say in terms of their comments, because you know where they stand anyway in terms of the football club. So, like I say, Cantona is the only one who calls out the football club and then calls out the rubbish, with the ownership, and even said with Ineos that, whatever we're doing, it's not going to work out well. So, it is what it is. Unfortunately, the sheeps are always gonna go with that narrative. The United fans live in this delusion, so they always going to want to hear what they want to hear, which is the positive. So somewhat the positive things disguise this delusion. But the real truth is very difficult in the sense for football fans to want to listen to. That is why channels that speak the truth do not get as much engagements as opposed to channels that say whatever everyone wants to hear. Everyone wants to hear this toxic positivity, where we lie to ourselves and we lie to people at the same time. And that's what fetches views. That's what YouTube's gonna push in terms of numbers. It's not gonna push people who are here and telling the truth. No, that's just not how it works. But we've learned, and what I've learned about this channel is that it's authentically been growing. It's growing the right way. There's no boost in numbers. There's none of that. Everyone who's been here, is here because of, they somewhat share our views and they want to hear our honest opinion. They're not here to hear a script. They're not here for scripts. They're here to hear what we actually think, as normal fans out there, who actively support the football club. And this is the first channel that has called the ownership out. So that's why I followed this channel myself. That's why I followed Nuruddin. That's why I followed what you represented. So I always say that I'm grateful to be on this channel. I'm grateful to also have people in the chats as well, who have stuck to their guns, and and let's stick by it. Let's keep being who we are, and
Yeah, 100%, bro. Like, the biggest thing, big up to you, man. Let's always hearing, because one thing I will 100% know, your take, you don't do it for hot takes. You say what you believe in. Like, that's why it's like-minded people. People who are other channels who have got now access to the football club. Do you trust them? They're giving you the information, or they're discussing the topics that really matter? Or are they just part of they're on the payroll now? They're doing a favor now. Yeah. Big up to Jamie Wayne, and some people don't listen, just want to give nourishment. Well, that's how it is, bro. Listen, I was born to take shit anyway. It was all good. It's all good. Certain people, we're just certain characters to do that, Jamie. Same yourself, to be fair. But for me, that's what I'm questioning. I'm questioning the best in class nonsense, because at the end of the day, Manchester United do not look stable. They do not look like where we need to be. We look way off the ball. And don't get excited by the win, that mad win against Chelsea. Do not get excited and get giddy about that. We're happy we won. We're happy that the weekend wasn't ruined. But we've got another massive game this weekend, Brentford. I back in the day as a United fan, I wasn't worried about Brentford. I'm like, yeah, you know what? It'll be tough at times, but we'll get 2-1 3-1 win. You know what I mean? Boom. Tick off the calendar. Now, I'm not sure anymore, people. I'm really not sure anymore. Not really sure anymore. But yeah, people, please, anything that you might have heard of. So let's get into this. So this is what the Telegram has reported. Big up Irfan Kanil. It says Manchester United would lead the way in 2026 to sign a number 6 midfielder, Elliot Anderson, Carlos Blaber, Adam Wharton among the midfielder expected to be targeted. Sources the Telegraph. This is where we're going, people. This is where we are. We know who we are. We know who we are. Manchester FC. We know who we are. PRFC, mate. Spin, spin, spin. Let's so you're laughing. You don't believe Manchester United are not going for Elliot Anderson, Carlo Blaber, and Wharton? Are you not? No?
Come on, we've seen the story way too many times, man. That's how we laugh it off, man. You can't be angry anymore at this point. You just laugh it off. You just have to laugh about it. So yeah, man. I mean, these guys. Why didn't you sign these guys if you're really after them? You needed them, but you didn't sign them. So this is just PR for them to actually. They know things are gonna get worse. I think they already know that things are gonna get worse. So what they're trying to do is just trying to give people that, oh, there's still next season. That next season syndrome. Oh, next season we'll sort it out. Oh, we'll sort it out in January. Oh, we'll sort it out then. They want people to forget how badly how poor they were in the summer window, how they dragged these signings all the way to the to deadline day, or not even got signings before preseason. We dragged one signing all the way into preseason. So they want people to forget these things. And unfortunately, some of us, we can't unsee these things anymore. You know, it's right there in your face. Like they literally just playing around with people's intelligence at this point. And it's disgusting, honestly. But you can only laugh about it, Noradine. What can you do? You're on mute.
That's all we can do, really, is to laugh at it. I mean, I remember how many strikers. Remember the guy that we used to be linked to from Benfica? Was it Gaitan?
Yeah. Gaitan was like the Snyder thing, what you call it, saga. Like the Gaitan thing was from all the way from 08, 09, all the way up until, I don't know, until Sir Alex even left, after even Sir Alex left, when Van Gaal was here. He was still linked. He was still linked with us, and I'm wondering what are these papers smoking? You know, at the end of the day. But
leave off the crack, stay off the pipe, get off the pipe, people, get off the pipe. By the way, it's not all on the manager. Collective problem, player ownership, recruitment, management, player ownership ran by clowns. Nothing depth yet. Ineos don't trust. Yet one bit mess. Yeah, 100%, Phil. Phil, you're always spot on. That's why I'm always like, it's not just one person to blame, but responsibility always lies with the ownership. If I own a cafe and the cafe is not doing great, because the people who I hired to operate the cafe for me are not doing great, then whose fault is it? Is it the people messing up the cafe, or is it me? Where does the responsibility lie? It lies with me. So I'm the owner. Yeah, I mean, this is what I'm saying to you. This is what's been reported. I know it's the same guy the news came from, but I just want to double check and get it to you guys. But this is what we've seen. This is the news of can I just go back to it?
Yeah.
Where did I find it? You know the same guy. Well, let me just check. Actually, the same guy who reported first on this on Baleba was saying that Baleba's basically parents and family were at the Anfield. They were at the game and they were quite impressed in Anfield. So we always said that. That's why it was good time to try to get him before anybody else, because Liverpool already spent their money. That's why the move was good for him, to try to get Baleba. Yeah, and I've got another thing for you here, a lot more. Look, this is to add to what we said first. This is a bit of breaking news we can see. So let me bring it up to you guys. This is just in now. This is what the club have just shared right now. So hopefully I can share it with you. And if I go back here. There we go. Let me just bring this up to date with you. This is the presentation apparently for Bruno Fernandes at the football club. So let me just read it out for you. Jason Wilcox. This is just a small presentation of recognition of Bruno, our captain. As you know, he scored 100 goals for Manchester United, which is an amazing achievement. Bruno, as you know, you all know him well, is a captain who leads by example to any young players. He's a shining example of what it takes to be at the top player, and he's a fantastic reputation of our football club and its family. So yeah, this is basically what he got. I don't know if you can see. He got 100 goals. I think a placard with 100 in it. I think maybe they've got all the goals he scored, all the teams that he scored 100 goals against. So yeah, this was a presentation today at lunchtime in the cafeteria area of the new training ground. Are you happy, lads? that coincided with the news that we said Jason Wilcox was the guy who's kept Bruno. And there it is. He's giving him a placard to congratulate him on his 100 goals. I would love to know, does any of you in the chat know how many of those were penalties? How many of them were set pieces, free kicks and penalties? Out of all the goals that he scored for United in all competition. 100 goals. It's quite impressive, I must say, because not many people have scored 100 goals for Manchester United in the last 200 games. So, if somebody can get that stat up, that'll be great. So that's worthy of a plaque. Standards have dropped. You know what I mean? The standards dropped the day Fergie walked out. The day Fergie walked out, the standard, there was no standards anymore. It was only what us fans were trying to keep up. It's only what we wanted. But yeah, it's so it's so typical. That's why now you could see that the fact that Wilcox is presenting him with a placard and everything else. What do you think about that?
No, it says everything. Honestly, if we're being honest, this is just PR, to be honest, from the football club. You know, there's nothing that they can put out in terms of positivity. You know, we're not really doing that well in the league right now. There's no really anything really going for us. You know, we've had massive blunders already this season. We're already knocked out of the cup competition. We're not in Europe. These guys are gonna try and milk everything, anything that they can set their foot on or their eyes on. They're going to put it out there so that, you know, they get traction. So, you know, the standards have dropped. And anyways, this has shown Wilcox is trying to do whatever it takes to look like this was the right decision for him to keep Bruno. But the position in the league is going to say otherwise when we end this season. Anyways, because we're not going anywhere this season. Hence why he's speaking in third person when he's saying, I hope we will get the opportunity to or the time to turn this around. He's speaking for himself as well. He knows himself. His job is on the line at the moment. You know, these decisions, like I say, they're gonna come back. They have to come back to both him and Barada. You know, and in terms of the manager and in terms of keeping certain players here. So it is what it is. Honestly, it was a shambles of a window. I don't care what anybody says. You know, if you do not sign a single midfielder, when we've had midfielder issues since Herrera left, you know, and as well as the last time we had that was with Herrera, Pogba, and Matic. None of those guys were there. We've always had, ever since those three have been disbanded, we've had deep midfield issues, and we've never ever even thought about solving them properly. So if you're neglecting your midfield, for me, and as a technical director, never mind at any level, you know, even at the lower level, teams don't neglect their midfield. So for me, as Jason Wilcox, who's the one who was solely responsible for neglecting the midfield by keeping Bruno, because had he known, obviously, if Bruno leaves, we get the money in, and that's straight cash. This is not paid over installments or anything like that. You're able to go and get your Baleba. You're able to get someone else as well. So it's on him, honestly. It's on him. Obviously, he'll say that no, but the manager also wanted this guy to stay. Dude, it's on you because you're the guy who has the final say. You know, you listen to a manager, but you can still say, yo, we hear you, but, you know, this is what we need to do. This is what the team needs, you know. But it is what it is. I think he won't be here too long. I've said it. He won't be here too long. Barada won't be here as well too long. You know, especially the way I've seen how Sir Jim operates. He doesn't trust these guys to some extent. That's why he even had his favorite puppet up there with him when it came to making decisions to begin with, because he still does not fully trust these guys around him yet. So for me, Wilcox is a fraud. Yes, Beretta is a fraud. Of course, I never liked Potato Head. Anyways, I always felt this job he was too big for his shoes in terms of taking this job. It's too big for him. It's too big for Wilcox as well. So I don't see these guys being here for far too long, honestly, and they shouldn't be here, regardless of which ownership we have. Anyways, so yeah.
Big up, people. I just wanted to bring you another person just now. I wanted to bring you another player as well. I don't know if you guys can see, but I wanted to bring you a footballer. So this is the person we linked with. His name is Mohamed Dabo. He's a Senegalese footballer. That's him on the ball there. He's the captain. He's the captain. He's number 13 there. He's this player. Can you see him, Lesso? Yeah? So this is the player that we linked with. This is him. He's similar kind of player to Kone, but
Yeah.
apparently he is a fantastic. He's the captain of Senegal. This is a midfield player. Playing through the lines. I think this is playing in a youth tournament here for Senegal.
So what are we gonna do with
17-year-old Mohamed Dabo, 17-year-old.
Okay, then I think it's one for the future.
Well, this is it. But that's what I'm saying to you now. United are getting on this thing where they're going to try to buy younger players because of the thing. Because also we're not in the EU anymore. So we're not in the EU anymore, and this is what it is. So this is the guy. Football Insider is saying here. Manchester United looks set to complete the signing of highly rated midfielder, walling off Barcelona for the teenager signature. Manchester United win. But they're saying here the Red Devils are now. Some of the club's summer transfer business has been criticized for the lack of midfield acquisition. But reports are now revealed Conor Gallagher was offered to Manchester United on deadline day. Yeah, we know that. Reports from Africa now suggest United are close to securing a deal for Senegalese midfield talent Mohamed Dabo. Africa Foot have reported that Dabo is on trial at Manchester, saying he's currently on trial at the Red Devils training centre. Sport Academy prodigy was seduced. Has seduced the English club's management with a raw talent and maturity. So these people who offer it, these are what they call here. Sports Academy prodigy has seduced the English club's management with his raw talent and maturity. So this is who the people who Sport Academy is who produced him. Barcelona reportedly interested in a midfielder, but Africa for added FC Barcelona hasn't said its last word. The Qatar club is also closely monitoring the progress of Mohamed Dabo, who completed a month-long internship at La Massa. He's the captain of Senegal. So he's another player similar to Saka Kone, but we're not seeing Saka Kone at Manchester United these days either. So what do we put up for that?
Yeah, I don't think we should read too much into that, honestly. And we've seen how, I think more or less these players are just there so that we can be able to sell them. I don't see us integrating any of these players, in all honesty, especially with the deadlines that we've set for ourselves. Never mind that. So I don't see us having the patience of putting players in and hoping they succeed. Unless you're an abnormality like your Lenny Euros and Yamals and all these guys, I don't personally see us putting players into that kind of environment. And our environment is not a good one to be putting young players anyways in. They wouldn't be successful because there's a lot that still needs to be fixed at the football club. Never mind that. Is there even a clear plan on how to develop any of these players? So, those things need to be fixed before you can try and think that you can develop talent.
Yes.
At the end of the day. So yeah.
But yeah, people, we've been here, people. We're here. We're live and direct. Big up to everybody. Please smash a like on the video. Subscribe to the channel if you're not already subscribed. We've been live now for that amount of hours, so the least you can do is smash a like on the video and subscribe to the channel. Is there many football on tonight? Is there a lot of football? Oh yeah, there's a lot of Europa League games, isn't it? A lot of Europa League games that are on. And a lot of League Cup games as well. Arsenal are playing. Everybody's playing, isn't it? Let me just have a look at fixtures. Yeah, Newcastle 2-0 beating Brentford. Man City beating 1-0 Huddersfield. Arsenal beating Vale. Europa League. I think Nottingham Forest have played in the Europa League. In the Premier.
Isn't Real
Against,
Betis
they're playing, yeah, they're playing against Betis.
Yeah.
13 minutes gone over there, people. Betis, Anthony Watch. He's no longer a Manchester United player. Nottingham Forest beat them. 15 minutes are gone. Yeah. But yeah, people. We're there. We're here. We're everywhere. Europa League. My local Brentford City are playing Newcastle. Yeah, pick up Sheikh Arian. Or should I say Donnarumma Arian? Your name is Donnarumma Arian. That's how much we love that player. But now Academy United need world-class players in the squad. Not in 5 years in the future. But this is what we're about. This is what we're about. Buying players. I won't mind if we're buying really talented players and then sending them on loan to play these other clubs in Europe. You know what I mean? Like, for example, Brighton bought Casado and then they sent him to a team in Belgium, if I'm not mistaken, to acclimatise to European football, to acclimatise to Europe. Amrabat plays for them too. Yeah. There you go, people. We've had a chat. We've had a bit of a muck around. We're trying different things, but please make sure you get in the comments and subscribe to the channel if you're not already subscribed. Let's know, have you got anything else to add? Noordeen's Amrabat. Yes, he's got the same name as me, but it's spelled this.
Now, besides that, we need to, I think at this point, you need to manage your health, when it comes to Manchester United. And yeah, like as long as, the Ineos are here and the Glazers are here, people need to start managing their expectation because, the mediocrity is not going to go anywhere anytime soon. Next manager is not going to solve anything on what people think is going to solve. Yes, we may improve positions. We may try and get into the top 5s and top 6, but you're never winning a league title. Not under this ownership. Like we need to get grips with that reality. We're never going to achieve that under this ownership. We're not. People always talk about how close we are to other football clubs. Yes, we are. In terms of players, to be honest, we are. We're not that very far. But I don't see us going over that final hurdle to try and actually challenge for titles. Like maybe what Liverpool are doing, what Arsenal are trying to do themselves with their ownership. We don't have that. We don't want that. And that's why we don't try and sign many players. That's what people need to peep. These guys are trying to just get the bare minimum, and that's Champions League money at this point. So they realize Manchester United is a cash cow, and you guys need to just learn to manage your expectations. And I've managed mine. I've decided to manage mine, and I'm healthier nowadays because I'm not thinking about league titles anymore. And it's sad to say that, but it is what it is. But big up to the channel. Smash the like button, people. Subscribe to the channel. Fuck Zionists, and big up to Palestine. And yeah.
Yeah, big up to the big flotilla. Big up to all the people in the massive flotilla. All these people. Actually, you got Mandela's grandson is actually in there. He's part of him. Yeah, he's in one of the ships, and now they're saying Spain and Italy are apparently going to send warships maybe to protect them from Israeli attacks. So that's going to be very interesting. There's the flotilla. There's lot of so many ships, so many humanitarians, activists carrying water, diapers, baby formula, all of that. And Israel's going to try to take them out with drones. But yeah. Big up Jamie. Said dark days are ahead when Liverpool win more league titles than us after this season, bro. Wonder if the fans will wake up. No, they're never going to wake up. Fans are beaten. They're never going to wake up. Bro. They're never going to wake up. Let me just have a look at the community question we asked. We asked that. We explained those of you, please reload the channel. We said, do we trust Wilcox? That's the one question. And do you think he's qualified to be director of football on Manchester United? No. No, he's not. No, he's not. I'm sorry to say, but no, he's not. Yeah. But people, love and light, we're tired. Yeah, we're tired. But please also make sure you watch the 2 videos we made. Both of them are like 12 or 13 minutes each. The least you could do is watch them and comment and like and subscribe like you've done here. Let me just see how many likes we got on the video. Have we got 78 likes on the video? Let me have a look. We got 70 likes. Yeah, can't complain with that. Big up, but people, please keep smashing the likes. Those of you watch us later. Big up to Lesso. Make sure you check him out at Lesso Football TV. And his thing is at Black Rain X. Black Rain on X. So make sure you check him out on Black Rain. How's the new job going, Lesso? Are you enjoying the work?
It's terrible, man. I don't think anyone enjoys you know, the
it's like Manchester United.
Yeah, we've got a manager who doesn't care, to be honest, and yeah, it is what it is. But yeah.
Well, you just got to do your work, man. If the manager doesn't care, no, he doesn't care what the work is standard or what it's like.
Yeah,
you got an Amarin. You got an Amarin.
We've got a free pass.
Bro, you got an Amarin managing you.
No, but it's a good environment. Everyone is getting along fine. Everyone wants to help each other. You know, we had a Heritage Day event at work where, you know, all 11 different language speaking cultures came together and showcased
incredible, man. Yeah, that's what I'm saying to you. You got 11 different ethnic groups in South Africa, yeah, with our own languages, yeah. What language do you speak, Luan? Lesso?
Well, I speak several.
Which one is your culture though? Zulu or Xhosa?
Oh no, it's Ndebele. It's Ndebele is basically Ndebele. It's basically it's in the Nguni tribe alongside the Zulus and the Xhosas and
because the Ndebele tribe also live in Zimbabwe. They live in Zimbabwe. Yes. Weird because of the way the borderline has been drawn up. Same ethnic group live in 2 different sides of the border. Weird.
Yeah, crazy.
Yeah. But how many South African languages do you speak? Afrikaans?
I speak a bit of Afrikaans. Well, I understand it more than I speak it. I speak Sotho. I speak Spedi. I speak a bit of Ndebele. I speak Zulu. Yeah, I can hear it. Xhosa is it's like Zulu, but it has different, words, obviously, but more or less almost the same. It's just the way they phrase things. So yeah, so it's about maybe I would say 4 or 5 South African languages that I speak,
and English as well. 6.
And that's English as well. So it's 6. So yeah.
People, see that there? We got somebody here who speaks 6 different languages. 6 different languages, man. I struggle with just 2. But big up, people. You get educated here as well about languages. But big up. Now we know Amarin is running things in Lesso's organization as well. No, big up. We're only playing, man. We're only playing.
Yeah, big up.
Only playing. But big up, everybody. We don't want to get our brother Lesso in trouble. Listen, we're only having a laugh. It's a joke. It's jokes. It's jokes. All good and love, man. Big up to you, man, and big up to everybody. But please make sure you check him out on X, Black Rain, and Lesso Football TV. Big up to everybody else. Listen, I was going to do the show at 8 o'clock, but I'm really tired and I wanted to get it out of the way and done. I've got a lot of things to do tomorrow. So, yeah, sending love to everybody. Free Palestine, solidarity and love with the flotilla, all the activists. Some actors from Hollywood are in there. Loads of different activists, like I said. Who is a politician, South African politician. The grandson of Nelson Mandela is part of it. Greta Thunberg is part of it. So, yeah. It's going to be very, very interesting to see what happens.
Wait, which grandson is it?
It's
Nelson Mandela.
I forgot his name. Oh God, he's he's a politician. I think he might become Muslim. He's a big supporter of Palestine.
Oh, okay. Because I know two. I'm not sure which one you refer to, but
let me show you. Stay here while we're live. Big up. Mandela grandson. On the ships for Gaza. 1 second. Yeah. It's this one. I'll just get it up and show everybody. Big up to South Africans always, innit? Big up to South Africans always for doing what they have to do. Big up to the South Africans. This is the fella. Let me show the people. This is him.
Oh, him. Oh, okay.
Yeah. He is. Yeah, he's on the ship now, man. He's on one of those ships that Israel is attacking.
Oh,
I think he might be. Yeah, they stopped him from coming to the UK. You know that. Well, they didn't give him the visa in time because he was going to speak. He was going to speak here, but I don't know what actually his name is. Yeah, said that Mandela. Is that his name? Yeah.
Yeah. Mandla. Oh, yeah. Oh, okay. Because I know there's another one who's also a politician. He's a very young. He's actually very, very young. His name is Maibuye Mandela, and then there's the one that I used to do my early shows with, Tembela as well.
Okay.
But he's more into the He's more into the football. He's more into football. He's a United fan, funny enough. So yeah.
Well, there you go. For his sins. Sorry, Lesso. There you go. Big up. But yeah, big up, people. This is it. You got a bit of education here. Yeah. Jamie's saying here, all that was City was that head of the City network that has never been CEO. Yeah. Lesso break it. If you watch the beginning of the show, Lesso broke it down and said we gave them both promotions for the first time in their lives. Both Wilcox and Omar Barada. But that's the type of club we are. Best in class nonsense, mate. They got attacked delivering aid. Yeah. This is it. Solidarity with Palestine, Lebanon, Congo, Sudan. Don't forget Sudan as well. The only reason why we're not knowing anything about Sudan and the Congo is that they don't have an internet infrastructure as much as they have it in Palestine. That's the reason, but there's terrible things going on there. There's a massive genocide going on in Sudan as well, solidarity. And the Arab Emirates are responsible with the US and the rest of the West with what's going on in Sudan because they try to rob the gold, the Sudanese gold. Some of the biggest, gold are in Sudan. So yeah, people are robbing Sudan. So yeah, solidarity with Sudan. Congo, you already know. It's the real Wakanda. If you know Wakanda, it's the real Wakanda with all the minerals. So yeah, vibranium. Everybody's robbing the vibranium out of there. So big up Haiti as well. Big up anywhere with the world where people are struggling. Like, everybody's getting oppressed. You know what the saying goes, oppression anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere. So yeah, solidarity and love with everybody. Which everybody's welcome on this channel. Please like and subscribe. Big up and love and like. Take care, people. Good night. And if you're down with the Glazers and Ineos, then you know where to go. To me, Jason Wilcox is not that guy. He is. I found out, Jamie. If you go and watch the Athletic Devils, something Devils podcast, Laurie Whitwell said one of the reasons why Bruno Fernandes is here is because of Jason Wilcox. So yeah, that's why we made it. And the reason why Paul Scholes is because he's just saying the wild things about Rashford is because so that he can get more subscribers to their little podcast with Nicky Bott and Paddy. We know the game, people. We know the game. We know the game. We know what the game is about. We know what this game is about, people. So yeah, love and light, people. Take care. Good night.
Take care, everyone.